Hi everyone and welcome back to Gamertag Stories YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about the Steam Deck. I know I did a review not long ago, but now I actually want to talk about the deck itself and how it feels to use. This isn't a software thing, this is a hardware. How do the buttons feel? How do the triggers feel? How do the touchpads feel? So if you've used the Steam Deck, you might understand what I'm talking about here, but if you haven't, and you haven't used a handheld gaming PC before, I'm really impressed with the Steam Deck. The sticks feel really premium. The dual touchpads, which act as a mouse essentially, is really nice here. You can see I'm playing Half-Life 2, and the sensitivity on the touchpad is fantastic. I've actually lowered the sensitivity a little bit on the stick here because it was really high. But again, that's more of a software thing. You can do that. The feel of the touchpad, the feel of the stick feels really nice. The triggers feel good and responsive. The only thing I would say is the top triggers, L1 and R1, feel slightly cramped. If you are like me and you've got quite wide hands, I've got quite wide palms, this feels quite comfortable. But if you've got smaller hands, I imagine the triggers on the back and the buttons on the back, L4 and 5 and R4 and 5, are going to be quite hard to reach. You can see in a moment here I actually touch them to crouch and jump. That wouldn't be my first choice, but some games unfortunately are preset like that. The buttons on the right and the D-pad actually feel really nice and premium, very responsive. They've got a good movement. The thing I think I'm most impressed with, and I said it just a minute ago, is actually the sticks. The quality of the sticks are phenomenal. I find that my thumbs stick to them really well when I'm playing. Like I said earlier, if you do have smaller hands, you might have a little bit of trouble hitting those back buttons. But overall, the Steam Deck is really comfortable in my hands, and I can play for a good amount of time. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. There are a few things, like the buttons on the back, that I would have a little bit of an issue with, and I think I mentioned this in my 6-month review as well. It's the options button and the Steam button. Though they do work and they can be quite responsive, they're probably the buttons that I've had the most issue with, whereas the buttons on the back is more of a personal issue rather than an actual issue of the buttons working themselves. So there's only these two buttons that sometimes seem to cause a little bit of an issue. Sometimes I'll press them and it won't react. Luckily for this video, it's worked perfectly. And you can see I'm using the D-pad here to change the brightness. Though the D-pad is plastic like the rest of the buttons, it really does feel very high quality. And the touch screen itself is quite good. One slip up there, but I think that's because my thumb came actually off of the screen. But it's very responsive. So if you haven't got a deck yet and you're looking to get one, and you're actually interested in how does it actually feel when I'm playing it, because I think that's a really important thing. A lot of people want to know about the software and the speed of the games, what can it run, what can it emulate, but if you're not going to enjoy holding it, is it going to be any good? Luckily for the Steam Deck, the answer is yes, it feels fantastic to hold. Once again, thank you so much for sticking around. If you could subscribe and like this video, that would be amazing, and I'll see you soon.